Mandy here. I wanted to come to you today with something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and it's actually kind of I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's a little bit hard to talk about at times, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing, and it needs to be said. So, with that being said, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for hopping on live. I know that it's in the middle of the day and it's in the middle of your work day, or either your, with kids. And if you homeschool, you got your kids home with you. And yeah, so I know it's at a busy time. So if you can't hop on live, thank you for watching the replay. Make sure you say hello, whether you're on live or you're on the replay. So what we are going to talk about today is, what did I call this today? I can't even remember. How I overcame a big obstacle in my life. And 3 key elements that will help you overcome the big obstacles in your life. So sorry. Okay, yeah. I had a brain fart for a second. But as you join, please let me know that you're here. And thank you so much for being here again. I am Amanda. And those of you who do not know me, my friends and family call me Mandy. I'm basically your mama next door that gives you permission to feel fit and energized. I'm sorry. I keep seeing a bug right here and I've got to get it out of here. So anyway, let me reintroduce myself. I'm Mandy. I'm basically your mama next door. I help women online feel fit, energized, and empowered every single day. And this story right here is one of the main reasons why I really started voicing online and actually became a voice online. I do have a blog, and it's called amandamiddleton.me. If you follow me there, you probably know that I am all about fitness, nutrition, feeling well, whether it's mind, body, spirit. And I believe that full health comes from the mind, body, and spirit, not just through your body. So, it all starts right there. So while I am waiting, or hang on just one second, let me share this to my group real fast. And if you are not a part of my group just yet, it's called Being More Than Just a Mom. And it is for anybody and everybody, all women. We're there to encourage and empower each other through fitness, through health, through mind, body, spirit, like I just said. So I would really love for you to join us there. If you can, I will drop the link in the comments after we are done. And I would love to see you there. So, all right, let me just get it in here really fast. Okay, we are set and ready to go. I really thought that I was just going to do this, this live and Being More Than Just a Mom, but I was like, no, I feel like other people need to know about it too, and other people need to hear the message. So again, if you're hopping on, please say hello. I would love to hear from you. You know that any of you that have watched my lives before, I love commenting and chit-chatting with y'all back and forth too. So anyway, with that being said, all right, so overcoming through grace, how I overcame a big obstacle in my life and lived to tell about it. And I want to give you 3 key elements that will help you overcome the big obstacles in your life. So just a little bit of backtracking here. Before I met my husband, which was 13 years ago, we've been married 13 years. Has it been? Yeah, it's been 13 years. I actually met him 13 years ago. And before we met, I went through a tragic thing that happened in my life. And one day I'm going to tell the complete story and tell you what it's all about. But today I want to just mainly just tell you how I overcame it. It was one of those things that was just, it's a very taboo subject. Not a lot of people like talking about it. It brought a lot of shame to myself. It brought a lot of shame to the people around me as well. And so I went into a deep, dark hole. And whenever I met my husband, we both knew that there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And of course, him being amazing like he is, he just kind of waited on me to be able to get my mind right to where I could totally receive the healing for it. And, there were a lot of obstacles to go to hurdle. I mean, a lot. So, but the first thing to really talk about is what is overcoming. And overcoming is basically, it's not forgetting. It's not forgetting what you've been through. It's not, because you're never going to forget. You're not going to forget those hard situations. You're not going to forget those situations that define who you are. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. This one particular story, one particular incident in my life, it still does define who I am, but it's not in a victim mentality. It's not in a, it doesn't come from a place of negativity anymore. It comes from a place of encouragement and empowerment. And it comes from a place of wanting to serve and help others too that have gone through something similar. So, overcoming is basically getting rid of the shame that is connected to all of that garbage that you are ashamed of. We all come into relationships, whether it's in a marriage or in a friendship or whatever, with baggage. And, we all come into this world with baggage. And we all have different types of baggage, but it's how we handle that baggage, really. So, overcoming it, just want to just want to define that and tell you, if you're waiting to forget, that's not going to happen, because that's not reality. Honestly, you're not going to forget. That whole thing of forgive and forget, it doesn't mean anything, because, yes, you can forgive, but you're not going to ultimately forget. It's the way that you handle it. It's the way that you, tell your story from then on. If you tell it with a place of shame, of course, you need to overcome some of it. If you tell it in a place of, I'm going to help somebody with this, you're starting that process of overcoming. So the very first thing of overcoming and getting rid of that shame, first and foremost, is I like to say bless and release, or block and release, as in Facebook terminology. From a person that's built her business online. Just a little bit of background there. I was in the fitness industry for a very long time, and then I had 3 kids under the age of 3, including a set of twins. Well, I brought my business home, and of course that brought me to online. For a little while, I was weight training people in and out of my house. That got to be even really hard. I still do that every once in a while, but and I'm still open to that. But for the most part, my whole entire business is online. Is it comfortable? Not all the time. It's not. It's not one of those things that I just get up every morning and I'm like, yes, I'm going to do a live today, because it's totally out of my element. But I do it. Not just because of my business, but because of a higher calling and because of the story that I have to tell. So with that being said, you have to do a lot of bless and release whenever you're overcoming, or block and release, as I say in Facebook. if you have followed me on Facebook for, even a week, or followed me on my blog for even, a short amount of time, you know that I try my hardest to be as positive as I can. I'm not the most positive person whenever you meet me. I can be a little bit shy and timid at times. I can be a little bit of an introvert, to be perfectly honest. If I see Emmy's on here, she actually goes to my church, and she could probably vouch that I'm not one to just go up and just, hey, and I'm just not normally like that. But she knows that I absolutely love and adore her. But I'm a very positive person, but I have my faults just like everybody else does. There's always another side to Facebook. Most of the time whenever I'm giving my positive tips, it's because I'm flipping my stinking thinking on its rear. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn this stinking thinking into something positive. So I try very hard to do that, especially online. If people do not line up with me whenever it comes to that, and they're very negative, I block and release. I bless and I release. And there's nothing wrong with that. For the longest time, and even people in your life every single day that come in and out, if they're negative, it's okay. That doesn't mean that you're going to block them forever. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be there for them. It doesn't mean that in the next season of your life that you're not going to have them with you. It just means for the time being, you need to nourish your soul. You need to be there for you. You need to be the most positive as you can right now. And you need to be a realist and realize that, yes, there are people out there that want to pull you down. Some of them don't do it on purpose. Some of them do it. Some of them do it on purpose, but some of them don't. They're not. So if you can't handle the negativity, bless, release. Or in Facebook, block and release. I do it every day, guys. I really do. I love what I do on Facebook and on social media, on Instagram, through my blog. But there's a lot of blocking or blessing and releasing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think for the longest time, we are told that, or we're not really even told, but we kind of think that that's wrong. It doesn't mean that you're not going to pray for them. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be there for them for the next season in your life. It just means for right now, the negativity you can't handle. So first and foremost, with overcoming anything, bless and release. Let the negativity go. Whoever is bringing that negativity, bless and release. You don't even have to tell them that you're doing it. Just let it go. Number 2, knowing that something is bigger than you. If you followed me for even 5 minutes, you know that my faith is, I'm big in my faith. And I know that there's something bigger than me. I know that there's something bigger than me calling me to do something even bigger. Calling me to do something that to help other people. And I know that you are, I know that you probably have that same calling. We all do. And we all answer that calling in a different way. I know that there's something bigger, and you've got to have faith in that. You've got to have faith in your story. Even as you are overcoming that story or that obstacle that you want to get past, and you want to get past the frustration, you want to get past all the garbage that goes along with it. Well, for you to get past it, you've really got to tune in to you, for one thing. And you've also got to tune into your faith and know that there's something so much bigger. And while I was going through all of this overcoming, I had to hold on to the fact that one day this story is going to help other people. I may not help them in the masses of hundreds and thousands and millions of people, but it's going to be the way that it's supposed to be. And I wanted to use that story to help other people. And I believe that we all have stories. We all have testimonies that we can sit down and say, this story can help, somebody. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the time, whenever I really trust my faith, and whenever I'm really called to talk about something, especially like this, I don't know who it's going to reach. I don't know if it's going to reach anybody. I don't know what's going to happen. But I trust the fact that, okay, I may have gone through something that was so hard and an obstacle that was so hard. But you know what? I came out on the other side of it. I overcame it. I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to represent the overcomers. I'm here to show other people, don't give up. I mean, don't give up. You've got to be that encourager and that empowering person. Whether, you may not have the terminology every day of encouraging, empowering, but just by being you and telling your story and telling about overcoming, that's going to help so much. It's going to help somebody. It's going to touch somebody. And I know my friends well enough on Facebook and my followers well enough on Facebook to know that y'all are compassionate people and that's what you want to help in any way that you can. I'm not saying that you've got to do a Facebook Live over your story. I'm not saying that you have to shout it from the rooftops. I'm just saying, do it the way that you feel like you need to do it. That always helps me. So just knowing that, number 2, knowing that something is bigger than you. And number 3 is, so it kind of goes back to number 1 a little bit, but number 3, support. You have to have support. You seriously have to have like-minded people that are going to support you and going to also kind of kick you in the butt in the same process and say, you're way out of line. Or no, the way that you're thinking is stinking thinking, and you really have to tap into that and you've got to release it. If your support is not going to be like mine, excuse me, your support system is going to be totally different. Now with me, I was 25 years old and I met my husband, and actually within 5 months we were married, which, if my kids came to me and said that, I might be like, really? You don't even know this dude. But after 5 months we were married, and he was my ultimate support system. And I tell people all the time that he was the first person in my adult life that I actually saw the face of Jesus. And I know that's, I said that I wasn't going to get all sappy here. But as an adult, to see that for the first time and to have that kind of support from somebody is amazing. And you have to have, no matter if it's a parent, if it's a best friend, whether it's a husband, whoever it is, you have to find that person. You have to find that person that will help you pull you out of that hole. Because if you don't have that person, there will be times where you're wanting to go back into that hole and not come out. And that's a dangerous place to be. It seriously is. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but being so ashamed of something that you've done in your past, or being so ashamed of something that's happened in your life, and you kind of dig yourself a hole, and if you don't have that support, that hole gets bigger and it gets deeper and it gets darker and it gets more anxiety driven, and it gets more depressing, and it gets more and more. I mean, it's just nonstop. You have got to have that person that will say, that will take you and pull you up and tell you, you know, you've got this. And, you know, that is, I know, I was about to say, I think that's why, but I know that's why I'm so passionate about helping other people, and helping and encouraging and empowering and speaking life and being positive over people, because y'all, the world is already so negative and so nasty as it is. We've got enough of that, and we need somebody to actually pull us out of the trenches. We need somebody to actually pull us out and say, the darkness is not where you need to be. And, you know, if I wouldn't have had that person or those people in my life, I wouldn't be here today. I mean, seriously. You've got to find those people. And if you don't have somebody in your life right now that's close to you, reach out to me. I'm there. That's what I do. I would love to support you and help you in whatever you need support and help in. Because I know what that feels like, to be in those dark trenches and you just can't pull out. So, you know, that's why I wanted to share so much about this, is because my whole platform on my blog, on social media, is overcoming. Anybody and everybody can overcome anything. There's nothing too big. There's nothing too sinful. There's nothing too much that you can't pull out of. I mean, seriously, nothing. I mean, and one day I'm going to tell you all this story. I seriously am. Whenever the time is absolutely right, I'm going to tell you the story. But this story is so taboo. It's so, nobody likes talking about it. You know, you're already kind of thrown into the flames in some ways, you know, or you think that you're thrown into the flames before you even tell anybody about it. So when I got on the other side of this obstacle and this other side of this story, I was like, okay, God, I get it. I'm going to use this story. I'm going to use what I've learned and use what I've done to overcome. And show other people that they can do the same. Because, guys, seriously, if I can do this, you can do this. Again, if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I have had a history of anxiety. I've had a history of depression. And like I just said to you, I mean, I'm not always the most positive person. I can be negative some days. So if I can do this, you can do this, because I'm nobody special. I mean, seriously, I'm nobody special, and nobody's special to even be telling you about this, but except for the fact that I am passionate about helping anyone overcome anything, no matter what the obstacle is. And I mean, that's it. That's it. So overcoming is not simple. It's not going to be done overnight. I mean, everything that I talk about actually on my blog or on social media, I always am the truth. I give you truth bombs. Hashtag truth bomb here. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But every single day that you push through is one more day behind you. Every single day that you push forward is another day behind you. And then once you get all these days behind you, it's such a blessing. And to know that you're like, heck yeah, I did that. I got past 1 week. I'm getting there, man. I'm totally getting there. You know, and a lot of people ask me, you know, this story that I overcame, what are my emotions and what are my feelings about this story? And, you know, does it sadden me? Does it, you know, what are my feelings really? And, you know, overcoming is not taking away the feelings in your story. You're still going to have your feelings, just like you won't ever forget. You know, just like I said at the beginning, you won't ever, you know, that whole phrase, forgive and forget. You forgive, but you don't ever forget. You just don't. So I have to say, since I have overcome, I'm not ashamed of this anymore. I don't think about it every single day, but whenever it does come up, I get mixed feelings. One day I may feel a little bit empowered, you know, that, okay, I made that decision, but I made it for the best that I could do at the time. Some days it makes me sad because, you know, some days I may feel like, well, maybe that really wasn't the best decision for me. But so overcoming is not taking the emotions out. Don't let that, you know, don't get mixed up with that, because even so, you know, I was even telling my husband the other day that sometimes I take my emotions out. It's like there's a big jar and I just reach in and I take them out because I just don't want to deal with them right then. Well, that's the most dangerous thing to do. Let yourself feel those emotions. Let yourself feel that sadness. Let yourself feel that happiness. Be in tune with why you're feeling that, and then move on. I mean, it's easier said than done, seriously. But it's got to be done. And you've got to have the perseverance to do it. And I know that you do. I know that every single one of you do. Because, like I said at the beginning, who am I? I mean, I'm nobody that has done this. And if I can do this, you can do this too. Seriously. So let's just recap before I lose all of you again. And please comment, say hello. Evangela. Oh, hey, Evangela. I didn't even see your comment. I needed this more than you will ever know. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it sets with somebody seriously and it helps. So number 1, block and release or bless and release. I do this a lot. Block on Facebook or on social media, and bless and release in real life. There's nothing wrong with blessing them and letting them go for a season, and releasing doesn't mean that you don't love them. Number 2, knowing that something is bigger than you. Like I said, I'm huge in my faith, and I know that there's something bigger than me, and I have to trust that and have my faith. Have your faith. And number 3, you need support. No matter where you find that support from, you need it. If you don't have that support, please contact me. I will be glad to be that support system for you to help you through anything that you need. So that's that. That is, I hope that it resonated with you. If you know of anyone that this will help, please share. I know this was a little bit long-winded, and it was long, but hopefully it helped. And what am I saying? All of my Facebook lives are kind of long-winded, so sorry. I guess I just like to talk. Anyway, I hope y'all have absolutely fabulous day. Like I said, if you would like to join Being More Than Just a Mom, I will put the link in the comments so you can check it out. I would love to see you there, where we empower and encourage all women, moms, non-moms, all of us alike in there. I would love to see you in there. And again, thank you. If you would like to share this or know of anyone that this would help, please share it with them. And I will see you soon.